Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the GI Joe Classified Shipwreck, and we will be comparing him to the O-Ring Shipwreck. And I know I saw what you guys did. I put a thing out there saying, hey, you know what, which ones do you want to see reviewed first? I had a feeling Scrap Iron was gonna win, but I saw you guys trying to get this because you've heard me say so many times that I don't like Shipwreck. You've heard my Shipwreck stories, so you know I have an O-Ring Shipwreck because I had so many of them. But we're gonna compare him to this guy. We're gonna see how he looks, and again, we're just gonna get into this. So, quickly looking at this box, I've mentioned before, the Classified team is doing a wonderful job when it comes to plastic-free packaging, and I know it's going to go away, but I hope they find a way to keep the artwork and the Easter eggs that they're doing, along with obviously showing us the figure. So, here's all the accessories that he comes with. Here is a digital rendering of the figure, at least I believe that is a digital rendering, and then he has rockets shooting up from what is probably some sort of destroyer or cruiser. I could be incorrect. I don't know. He has a bike there. Now, the homage to this is, if you remember his PSA, well, if you look at his old PSA, there are trees there, and there's a bike against it. The trees are where the missiles actually are. Okay? So you have a picture of him. He's number 70. There's a QR code to take you to a non-file card. Useless. Thanks, Hasbro. There's the image on this side. He's number 70, I forgot to say. And here is everything that he comes with. And you can see he has the hairpiece that makes him look like Travis Moody. Travis, I know you're going to love hearing that shout out there. And again, here's everything that he comes with. He seems to be a little light on accessories. Thank God he is not considered a deluxe. But let's be honest, Hasbro, this is your figure. All these figures, in my opinion, should come with some sort of submachine gun, along with a pistol, a knife, different things like that. But they are giving you your figure to recreate your old 80s figure. So anyway, let's stop looking at me. But before we do, if you like the content, if you like what I'm giving you, take a second, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop GI Joe video. And just so you don't, in case you didn't know, I have 2 more coming in the next 2 days. Alright, so I got everything out here, and I left him in here because I did want to show something, and I have not seen this yet. But they seem that they put a piece of cardboard up here, probably to keep his hat on. So when you open it up, you don't have it bouncing around. I like that idea because I guess it gives some sort of feel that, hey, you know what? QC, we're trying to make it better. We don't want the head popping around, the hair not off, so when you open it up, you're not going, all right, well, look at this. We already have QC issues because we've had so many QC issues with these figures recently. So I'll show you, as I pointed out before, the artwork looks really cool. So if you want to keep something like this, there you go. This is how the back of the box, or when you open it up, when you have the window package. But I think it's cool. Again, the GI Joe team is doing what you're supposed to when it comes to doing plastic-free packaging. Let's get rid of all of this. All right. So here we have our locker. It says Shipwreck, number 70, and as pointed out by these Battleground, if you keep turning it, it's upside down. Again, I mentioned before, I think these are a nice idea, poorly executed. This handle, it doesn't fit a human hand. It doesn't fit a classified hand. Sure the hell doesn't fit an O-Ring hand. These should be lockers. That would make more sense because of the height of them. They'd be big. There you go. Lockers. Do it like that when you decide to redo everything. GI Joe Classified. Lenny, you know who I'm talking to. All right, so let's take a quick look at everything that we got here. So here we have his like flint locker. Now again, the only reason why you give this is because the original O-Ring had it. Now, believe it or not, the fact that I've had 9 shipwrecks and I still have 8 of my original ones, I don't have one complete one. This is the only one of this gun that I still have that's complete. I do have one that this is cut off. So anyway, they give you this so you can recreate it, and it has the little wrist harness on it so you don't lose it. It's got one shot. Again, does not make a lot of sense. Matter of fact, this one makes even less sense because it has a scope on it, but maybe that's how they were. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong, because people seem to love to want to correct me when I'm wrong, and so be it. I put myself on camera. So, I like the design of it in general. Just the sculpt of it, it looks really nice. You know, you do have a couple paint apps to it. It is straight. I like having straight weapons. That's how they all should be. But again, oh, it's a double barrel. Didn't even notice that it was a double barrel. So, it looks nice. It's actually pretty cool. Again, do we need something like that? Probably not, because, well, they don't use that stuff anymore. So here's his sidearm, his real sidearm that he's going to use. It is used to have a suppressor put on it. So this is, I believe, a very similar weapon to what Snake Eyes came with, 00. But look at the detail. So that looks pretty cool. So it's clearly supposed to be specifically for him or for a naval officer. So I like that. That is super cool. Look at that design. Like, this is the type of stuff that we all want to see. So it looks like that's an anchor that runs across there. Wow, I like this. This is really, really impressive. And to be honest, I probably would not have noticed that had I not been looking through this. So it looks like that is a nice little... Yeah, so it's just a hook through it. I think that looks really nice. I like that. Here's his rope that's going to go around him. So instead of giving him a long rope, and that's the one piece that I no longer have, they just have it so it wraps around him. And then you're going to have your hook, which you get your own rope. Again, this is soft enough, but why is this seem like it's made better than some of the weapons, especially like Torpedo's a harpoon gun there. And then this is going to just kind of clip right on like that. And then you have the infamous poly. Now, this is just a bird. Does have a peg leg, which I think is kind of comical. It's kind of funny, and it's supposed to be so it can peg into this, so then it can sit on his shoulder. So, again, why would a bird have a peg leg? I don't know, but I think it's kind of cool. And then you look at it. The sculpt is really nice. I think they've done a really nice job with the animals. Now, he is just a regular one mold, but the eyes look really nice. The app, like the paint apps around the eyes look good. The beak is a different color. It looks like it uses a couple shades of green inside of it, or on him. So I really like this. I mean, this is all you really need. And comparing it to this poly here, oddly enough, they're the exact same size. So, I mean, the original poly had, you know, a little bit yellow on it, yellow around the eyes. The eye wasn't really painted, but I think it's kind of cool that they're the same size. So, if you want two polys and you have an OG Shipwreck, there you go. And there's his wig, which we will get into. So let's take a look at our figure here. And I have to say, quickly looking at this figure, it looks extremely, extremely nice. I cannot complain too much about it, even though I'm not a big fan of Shipwreck, but I've addressed that. So quickly we'll take a look at it. This is right out of the box. T-pose, easy. Pinless joints, no problems there. Here's the bicep swivel that sits above the collar, or the cuff, not the collar, the cuff. You can look down, you can look up, side to side. His neck kind of moves back and forth, so we can kind of do a little dance. Anyway, there's your Jean-Claude Van Damme. Does have the drop down hips, thigh swivel, double knee joints. I gotta say, this figure feels really, really nice. All right, so let's get down here and, all right. So he has ankle rockers, but what does he not have? He does not have the boot cut. So I just noticed this, so let's bring on a Valaverse figure. And this is something that I have had a lot of complaints about. And I'm going to complain about it on a Valaverse. I kind of have to point it out on the GI Joe too. So I like the way this looks. Just like I like the look of this on Valaverse. But I hate that there's no boot cut. Now, I know someone told me that, hey, you know what? Aesthetically, that's not even right anyway because your shin doesn't turn. Well, guess what? I don't have double jointed elbows and knees like that too. So I have a feeling this is going to, just like the Valaverse, cause issues when it comes to posability. I know people don't think so, but if I cannot twist my boot cut, it does affect problems. Now, if you just stand your figures like this, very boringly, great, good for you. And as much as I like this jean look, and I like the way that it hangs over, and being a skateboarder who wore big baggy clothes, I like that. No boot cut, and I understand there's no place for a boot cut technically. It does impede posability. So I do like the way that it looks, but unfortunately, it is a gripe that I'm gonna have, and I have to point that out. So, all right. So now let's get into looking at the actual figure, and we'll take a look at him, and then we'll compare him to the original one. So there's his face sculpt. I think it looks really nice. He seems to be looking straight at you. He looks just kind of like he's mean mugging everyone. Eyes look good. Hair looks really nice. Some people have complained about this. Top of the hat has texture around it, and then it pops off. Now, what they really should do is give you a bald cap so you can make a third figure or a fourth figure. All right. So let's put on the Travis Moody wig here. And there you go. That's the Travis Moody here. And you know what? We'll put a shot up of Travis Moody right here. Anyway. I don't feel like it fits all the way down. Like maybe I'm missing something. But it seems like it's just kind of hanging up there really, really high. But there you go. Now he does have some chest hair. I'm going to pull that off so it doesn't drop. So he does have some chest hair there. Looks pretty nice. He's got his anchor or his some sort of tattoo, and I like that it looks kind of faded. Now in the camera here it doesn't look faded at all, but in person it looks more like it's faded. Here you have a trident up top here with his stripes. Then you got a shark here, which if I remember correctly, that went to the shark. Maybe I'm wrong, but isn't it the actual shark? Shark vehicle logo. And then he has a peg here that if you want to put poly on his wrist, so then again you have him like your O-ring OG figure. Oh, I apologize. On his belt, he's got a place for his pistol, place for his hook. He's got a holster here for his other pistol. And if we could mention his ab crunch. So I like the way this figure looks. The jeans look really nice, or the jean style, whatever it is. I can't say it's an actual jean. It even has little pockets in the back, but I think it looks really nice. And this is perfect to make an operator out of for GI Joe in general. Popping this off, and you have an operator. So let's compare the two. And I think we're going to see a lot of similarities. Let's pop the sailor cap on him. Sailor cap fits way easier, fits way better than his hair. So looking at that face, you got the nice same cap. Even on the top of the original O-ring, it has the little creases on it. He's got the full beard. You can definitely tell that that's how he's supposed to be. They did give him chest hair, but you even got the same pockets up here. Got the same style collar. Shirt is pretty close. There you have his emblem here. Now he does not have a trident on the original one. Oh, okay, you know what? Yeah, so there he has the same. Hold on, let's stop and take a look. Let me figure this out. Cause I love when people call me out and get mad about things. So looking at this, again, these are things you don't even realize. So, I believe maybe that is the shark right there. Because it's not that emblem. So I believe it's the shark that's right there that's also on the original figure. So they do a really good job. And I was obviously on different arms. I'm sure someone will complain about that. Here you have his holster on the side. Instead of having the bell bottoms, they give him a jean style, which I think looks way better, and the black boots. On his belt, he's got a pouch right there, pouch up there. He only has one pocket back here. He does have a nice textured belt. So many things that you don't really realize. The belt loops there. So, all in all, nice look. And then he even has like the little sweatband, which is where Polly is going to land on it. And the black gloves. So, all in all, I think this is a really nice looking figure. I don't have the same animosity towards this figure as, let's say, I did against the original Shipwreck. But again, if you don't know my story, just tune into the lives every now and then, and I'll eventually tell it again. So let's see, how do we want to put this? Now, he tends to have a hook here, so if you don't want to have the rope on it, it looks like we can just kind of hang it right there. Or if you just want to have it there instead. I guess there's all kinds of things that you can technically do. You want Polly up here? You can put Polly either up on here, where he's chatting with them. Oh, that's not the hole, so it doesn't fit. This was a complaint some people had right there, is that Polly kind of sits on an angle. So maybe we got to put it on the other side. Let's try this. Let's see how he tends to fit over here. Thank you guys for bearing with me. All right, so if it's on this side, Polly sits up a little bit better. Or again, you can put them right there. And then you have your pistol. Boom. I think it would go that way. So he's able to carry everything other than his toupee. Let's try and get this back on here. I actually think the head, if he was completely bald, wouldn't be that bad. He's got a big forehead right there. But again, you take that off, I think being bald actually looks pretty good. Now, this is a great way to get some other sailors into the line. Maybe even a torpedo, a wetsuit in their naval garb, I guess you could say. I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of the hairpiece. It seems like it makes him have way too big of a forehead. It's not that it looks bad. I think it takes away. So I can't imagine I'll have this on him too often. I think he's going to be running around with this piece way more. So there you go. That's our Shipwreck. Man, I actually really like this figure. Way more than I thought I was going to. He has light on accessories, and that is disappointing considering they do own the brand. But comparing him to the O-ring figure, I mean, it even has the hook here. And this was for the rope. He has the gold belt buckle. I totally missed that. Again, so many little things that you forget, you don't see, that you miss on your O-ring figure. So I love comparing these guys. I know sometimes it takes a little bit longer than other reviewers. You can find other reviewers, they're going to do it in 8, 9, 10 minutes. Wow, even, you know what? I didn't even notice this. And I think they actually talked about it before, but you can see how worn the pants are, which is such a good look. I mean, it looks like they're frayed, that they're getting worn. Wow, that looks awesome. Like, top notch. Like, this is how the figure should be. We'll discuss that on the other end. So, let's get in. Let's wrap it up. All right, so there's your Shipwreck. And I gotta say, I am really, really impressed with this. Even the boots, I mean, you can see the laces down here. There's so many things that I may have missed. Actually, it's hard to believe that I could miss anything in that amount of time. But I really, really do like this. You know, the hook here, I think they do a really nice job of making it part of the rope. Or you could throw the grappling hook onto it like that. So I think it works either way. Doesn't look bad. The detail on this is really nice, and the way the figure feels is really, really sharp. And this is really how the figure should feel. So I don't know what it is. It seems like this wave, if it's a different factory or what it is, the plastics are different. These feel really solid. So I don't know. I don't like saying course correction because the classified figures were doing really well, and then all of a sudden we get a really bad batch of gummy, soft figures with broken arms and different things like that. And now we're back to where they should be, and this is where they should be. I didn't have to heat anything up, and yes, it is summertime. But again, even some of these other figures, you know, it doesn't matter really what time it is. You're still going to have some issues with it. So, yeah. All right, so there you go. That's the Shipwreck. I know you guys are trying to convince me. I know you guys are trying to get it to be the #1. I even talked to some people that said that. So that's okay, because I like this figure way more than I thought I was going to. Again, no boot cut. Very, very disappointing. It will cause some issues when it comes to posability. Not to mention, you're only going to get so much articulation from the foot because of the way this hangs over, so that causes a problem too. But the figure, all in all, looks extremely nice. So I'm going to get out of here. Before I do go, jump on the socials. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, A Punk With Toys. The Facebook group page, Punks With Toys, because once you join, you're a punk with toys. And last but not least, as I mentioned before, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a GI Joe video. And definitely like the content. Like the video if you like it. Like any content creator that you like, because it tells YouTube you're enjoying this. I need to push it out. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. But don't you go anywhere, because you know what? If you like this sailor here, you're definitely going to like Torpedo. And here's the other classified figures that I've done, because I've done them all. Even if some of them were bad.